Today's American Story with Bob Dotson comes from Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore, home to one of the finest brain surgeons in the world, a man whose journey to get there was very different from most doctors.
This is another hard buddy.
This is the kind of moment doctors cherish.
So you can see the before and you can see the after.
The chance to bring a bit of good news.
We were very lucky. Posterior were good.
Alfredo Quinones removed a fist-sized tumor from Mike Stevens' brain. It was not cancerous.
He saved my life, and in a way he extended it, plus he made it better after the fact. And that's just an amazing feeling.
2 decades ago, the hands that plucked that brain were picking vegetables for $22 a day. Quinones was a migrant worker living under an old camper top in the middle of a California field.
Sometimes I would cry myself to sleep thinking about, what am I doing here?
You had a relative who said, you're never going to be anything but a migrant worker the rest of your life.
It just ignited this fire in my belly.
He learned dozens of jobs with a blazing desire to be the best at whatever life offered.
Every single thing that I've done in my life, I loved. You got to find joy in everything you do.
He is also awash with the fear of failure.
It's okay to be afraid, because you know what happens when you're afraid? You work like crazy.
Quinones studied math and science because he didn't have to write perfect English to do well. Made it to Harvard Medical School.
Alfredo Quinones.
Graduated top of his class.
One thing that this country absolutely values is hard work.
That's what he tells kids who wonder if they, too, can beat overwhelming odds.
Now, what structure is this right here?
He wants to attract a rainbow of students, figuring a diversity of backgrounds will find a cure for cancer more quickly.
Look at you.
How you doing?
How are you?
He teaches them to treat all patients as friends.
Don't forget the human side.
Dr. Q never lets his brilliance blind him to that.
Ouch, I gotta use those hands.
His life, like theirs, has had more than its share of uncertainty and tears.
You found your dad crying.
That was a tough time in my life, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Many nights his mother had no food for the table because his father lost the family's gas station in Mexico.
He used to tell me that if you want to be like me for the rest of your life, don't go to school.
Alfredo became a teacher at 18, but found he too did not earn enough. So on his 19th birthday, he clawed to the top of a 16-foot fence and jumped illegally to an uncertain future here in the U.S.
All I wanted to do is come in, make a little bit of money, send it back to my parents.
You can't pick up a newspaper without reading about illegal immigration and what should we do about it, and should we build walls or should we keep them out of our schools? What do you say to people?
Can we build walls? Sure, we're going to build walls. Can we make them taller? Sure, we can make them taller. Would that be a solution? As long as there's poverty and as long as people are dying of hunger in other places, it's human nature. They will try to find better ways.
Ironically, Dr. Q followed his heart, not his head. Studied to become a citizen rather than return to Mexico a hero. Felt he owed this country for all the opportunity it had given him. So each evening, as other doctors head home, he goes to his lab.
Looking for clues in the tumors he's taken.
What if you never find the cure for brain cancer?
It doesn't matter whether you're successful or not. What matters is that you give the world the best, and the best will come back to you.
He's got his family, his citizenship, and the love of his patients. Perhaps that's the secret to living the life he dreamed. For today, Bob Dotson, NBC News, with an American Story in Baltimore.
Great story. What a wonderful story. Great story, Dr. Q.